Hey boys, welcome back to the channel. I hope you guys have been well. So here's a little story for you guys. Before I owned this beloved gem of a car, my dream car really was an EP3 Type R. Yes, it's weird, Hondas, this, that, you know, like, so be it. But deep down, you know that you love Hondas as well. Because every car guy that loves cars like this started somewhere. For me, I started with Hondas. You fall in love with another car, then that becomes your dream car. Anyway, so I was sitting there thinking about, there's a lot of videos of the Supras, there's not enough videos of the EP3. I checked how many videos we got of the EP3, we only have one video. So we're gonna go for a drive and talk about why the EP3 Type R is the best Type R. So this is one thing I fucking hate about Melbourne. I left my area nice and sunny, schmick weather. Come to my private road and it's raining. Why? Yeah, so we'll still do the little drive, but I'll just have to be a little bit careful. So see what happens, but yeah. I look big in this thing, Jesus. This is why I reckon the Type R, the EP3 is the better Type R. It started off originally the EK9 as a 3-door hatchback, and the EP3 stuck to its roots by being a 3-door hatchback. I feel like the EP3 is a better Type R compared to all the other turbocharged variants, because Hondas are known for their naturally aspirated, you know, shenanigans and all the VTEC goodness. And I feel like they've stepped away from their NA-ness. But I'm not saying that the new Type R's are shit or anything. I just like the sound of a naturally aspirated NA VTEC. Yeah, I'm definitely taking it slow because this road is wet. The EP3 Type R's had the first generation of the K20s. And usually first generation cars are terrible, but it sort of cemented itself to be such a good car with the engines. K20 didn't live for long because it only lived for 2 generations in the Type R's before it got turbocharged. And I feel like the NA version of the K20s, especially the JDM K20As, it's just in another world, man. It's fucking fantastic how well these things are. As you have noticed, I have bought a camera for this channel. This is how much I have been putting into the channel. So bear with me as I try and get to the grips of how to use this camera. I like to challenge myself, like I said previously, and the iPhone was a fantastic camera, but I just like to challenge myself. I don't know, how else am I gonna say it? Like, I just like to test my patience with shit. So I was like, you know what, let's just try a new camera. So here it is. I don't know, I just love the way it is. It's so unorthodox. It's a very unloved child of the Type R generation. They're relatively cheap as well compared to the other Type Rs. Like if you try and get an FD2 Type R in Australia, especially, you're spending upwards of $35,000 if you're going to import it, and if you want to buy one that's already imported, you're spending 40 grand more. It's crazy how much they're worth. Then these, on the other hand, these are worth like cool. Like I made a boo-boo and bought this during COVID, and I was like, should I buy it? Should I buy it? I bought it, and then the prices went down. I'm stuck with it now. A decent EP3 Type R are under $20,000 now. I bought this for 25, like a peanut. Oh well, you live and learn. You make mistakes. Pre-COVID, These things were like $5,000. No one wanted them, so they just sold them as cheap as possible. But the need and the want wasn't there back then, so they just got rid of them dirt cheap. Kudos to those guys that held on to them, because man, you guys make some money on that now. The other unconventional thing about this car is, I think it has to do with the suspension setup. So a normal Type R after these generations, even the EK9, not even Type R's, all the Civics after, before this generation had a double wishbone setup. That's a lot better for tuning, suspension tuning, a lot easier to tune as well. Like this doesn't have an upper control arm, it's just the McPherson strut. So what that means is just the coilover mounts straight up to the mounting point at the top of the strut tower, and the bottom half of the coilover mounts onto the bottom lower control arm. So there's no camber adjustments on the top. So the way you adjust camber in this is through the top of where the strut tower is. So that's very unconventional type. It's common. The only reason they use that type of design is to save money. So they save money with it. I think it's the same setup on the DC5 Type R's as well. I don't know why this is the unloved child. Honestly, I love this thing. It's such a good car. Like if out of the box, this is pretty standard apart from having a catback exhaust and some holes cut in the airbox just so I can get some induction noise. It's really, really good car. Like, it's fantastic, man. Like, can't complain for how standard it is. A real good car to get into and just jump in and just drive. I was thinking about selling this previously. If you want to see that video, I made a video about that. You can send the link in the top here. But ultimately, I didn't want to sell it because I was like, you know what? It's not a bad car. If anything, it'll bring me joy. Like when the Supra's down, which it will be, it's inevitable when it's going to happen. At least this car, I'll be able to just jump in and just start driving it. Don't have any issues with it. Just turn the key and just drive it, which is the best thing about these cars, man. Like they're so fucking reliable. It's crazy. Thrash the living shit out of them and they still come back asking for more. Phenomenal. Yeah, this private road is very wet. So I'm not even gonna bother trying to fang it. It's a really good private road too. Maybe a little bit of a squirt. Nah, it's too wet. It's too wet. Can't get G'd up, man. I G myself up. It's the worst. The worst part is I don't have any private roads around me. It's so hard because I have to travel over an hour just to get to my private road. Yeah, like I said in the intro, deep down everyone's a Honda boy. No matter what car you have or what car you love, you see a nice Honda and you're like, that's a beautiful car. If you love cars, you love Hondas. It's a given. If you don't love Hondas, then you're just in denial about it, and you should go get yourself checked. Holy shit. So yeah, this is it. It looks ugly on the outside. You can see what I mean by it looks like a bread van, because the roof is just, it looks like a van. So you can see why it's the unloved shape of this generation of Type R's, and you can see why I love it. It's a really good car. I've always loved it. Like, look, it's almost the same shape as the van that's going there. That's why I reckon it's the best Type R, because it's just got so much potential to give. It's got so much gravitas to be a better car, and that's why if you guys love Type R content or just the secretly deep down a Honda boy, then stay tuned, because I am planning on doing some work on this car. I want to turn it into an absolute track weapon, like just for the private roads and shit, just so you can have a bit of fun, jump in, go for a thrash, bring it home, put some oil in it, because you know Honda tings, and go again, hit VTEC, smash some fucking limiter, because these things just love it. But you obviously got to look after it as well, change the wheels, do valve adjustments and shit. But yeah, if you guys enjoy Civic Type R content, and stay tuned, because there will be some content coming now, as I need to start diversifying my content now, because it's getting to a point where I need to start introducing other things into this channel, because I want to have a community with this channel. I want to have people that have the same passion, have the same drive for cars, the same emotion, the same mentality about cars. Just it'd be rewarding, and share my knowledge with you guys as well. Now look at the weather. It is absolutely beautiful. Sun is shining, birds are singing, flowers are springing. Where was this shit when I went for a fucking drive? Melbourne. Well, that does it for the drive. The car came back absolutely filthy, so I'll have to wash it again. But like I said, if you guys enjoy content about Type Rs and Civics and shit. I've got plans for this thing, so stay tuned. Be subscribed just so you know, if, you know, when the video comes up, then you'll be like, all right, let's go watch this mad cunt. Just a quick note, I've started a Patreon for those who want to support the channel and push me to go further and beyond. All the relevant links are in the description below. It's completely up to you. I just thought to mention it just to see where it goes. If you don't, that's fine. Like the videos, share the videos to your mates, subscribe to the channel, comment, just interact with the video for free, just so you can get this video to other people and get more people into this fucking channel. All right, I guess that's it. Thanks for joining, and I'll see you guys next time.